Alrighty. Now, I think I did it right this time. The last time I recorded, the stupid thing didn't have the background audio, but it should work this time. This is part 2 of milk inside of a bag. This is milk outside of a bag. Flashing images and touches on heavy topics. Yep. Save menu. Oh, save menu. Is there gonna be a lot more story to this one? Oh. It's the first game. It's so freaking loud. Oh, this is when she was telling me what happened. He's so young. I didn't think she was so young. Sheesh. Can I lower the volume a bit? Oh my gosh, hold on. Turn it down for y'all just a bit, and then I'll turn it down for myself in a second. One of these shadows whizzes past me, touching my face ever so slightly. I smile and continue walking, paying it no mind. Yeah, I need to turn this down. It's so easy to lose self-control and track of time, spinning in a joyful dance. I'm in a bit of a hurry here. Mom told me to go to bed. I walk past the kitchen on the way to my room. The door is shut, but I can still feel the chilling air coming from the other side. My first thought is that there's a living corpse blowing into the keyhole, laughing mockingly. That's so silly. I'm absolutely sure we have no corpses in our kitchen. I know for sure that we've never had any corpses in our kitchen. I'm absolutely sure that this music's unsettling. I break into a run and dash toward the closed door. The shadows intensify their chaotic dance. Are they trying to stop me or calm me down? I don't know. It doesn't matter right now. Don't you get it? I wave my hands around as I run, trying to chase away my annoying pursuers. But then I suddenly realize that I won't be able to stop them in time. I've got no other choice but to break the door down now. If there's somebody inside, I'll surely scare them to death. But wait, how can I scare to death someone who's already dead? What if it actually revives them? No. I want that. What do I do? I couldn't fully complete my thought when my shoulder hit the door and it flew open. Just rammed into the door. As I expected, there was no living corpse inside. But there was a bag of milk I bought today sitting right in the middle of the table, watching me with its unblinking eyes. I stare back, nothing happens. Although, what exactly did I expect? Gratitude? Have I done something that warrants it? A bag of milk probably doesn't care whether it's on the shelf or in a store or on the table in my mom's kitchen. On the other hand, nobody would drink milk inside the store, which means I took it from the safest place in the world and into the scary unknown. I'm so sorry, you poor thing. I turn away in shame and leave the room in a hurry. I only bring others trouble. I walk toward my room through a narrow corridor. That's my mom, right? Oh my gosh, that actually creeped me out. I meet a familiar, formless creature. It locks me in the clutches. I start sniffing every inch of my body like a hungry dog. I'm not struggling. I know it's useless. I just stay silent and endure its tight grip that stops me from moving. This is intense. This is really intense. After sniffing me from head to toe, the creature holds out its ugly paws. I might turn this down a little bit more for y'all, because that's kind of loud. I don't know if that's a little bit too much. I'll see it later on. Bearing a single claw, thin and sharp like a blade. Again. I stare questioningly into the monster's bottomless eye sockets. Don't move. The creature squeezes my hands until my veins start bulging, and I just keep staring into the black cavities where its eyes should be, ignoring all of me. I've promised so many times, stay put. The moment it says that, its claws pierce me. I don't feel anything discernible crawling under my skin, and the ring of tightly sprung sinews, but then the claw injects his venom into me. It hurts. Alright. This is very loud. I'm gonna have to turn it down a lot for myself. I'll change the settings. I'm sorry if I'm scuffing up this this thing right now. It's extremely loud. That should be better. That's better for y'all too. Sheesh. A white veil appears in front of my eyes. Fingers cramp and start twitching frantically. I lose control over my body, slowly slides to the floor, just like last time. But why do I feel so hot? I feel my blood boiling up, strong shivers up through my body, paralyzing every single cell. My veins and arteries heat up, almost bursting from the pressure. I try screaming, but instead of producing words, I vomit thick, milky foam. The creature notices it and throws the stuff at me in anger, grabbing me by the throat while keeping the poisonous claw inside my arm. Kill me. Kill me. Hysterical screams resound through the corridor. In a fit of madness, the creature starts scratching my neck. Red splashes fly everywhere, hitting the walls with a loud sound. I try to remember where every drop fell in my memory, so I can gather them all later. I need to remember. A new wave of pain washes over me. Everything turns pitch black in an instant. I'll never drink milk ever again. I say it. I'll never drink milk ever again. Say it again. I'll never drink milk ever again. I'll never drink milk ever again. Gosh. My goodness. That was so intense. I finally get to my room. I'm so tired of all this fuss. Thankfully, I still feel comfy and warm in my room. Even the weird sounds coming from the outside don't make me anxious at all. That background is really cool. It's pretty interesting to look at. It's like a stop sign. It's like a sign, like a street light, and they like changed it with this filter. Mom told me to go to bed, so I need to perform all the needed preparations. I've washed my face, and now I'm standing in front of the mirror with a toothbrush in my mouth. Look at my reflection. It shows absolutely no desire to sleep. Yeah, I get how you feel. And there was a time when the last minutes before I sleep were my favorite time of the day. I loved anticipating the inevitable moment when the reality and the dream world would clash. I woke up for that moment's sake. Lived through the day for it. My biggest dream was to sleep all day long. It would have been so cool, but the dreams always slowly but surely slipped away. As if somebody fished them out of my head, one after another, until nothing was left. And now I have to sleep again, even though I don't feel any need for it. So many pills. After finishing with my face, I usually reach out for my pills. It's funny, but I have no idea how they work separately, since I always swallow them as a bunch without thinking. Now I want to have a better look at it, to twirl it between my fingers, to chew on it. I'd do anything to stall for just a little bit more time. Yeah, so many pills to take, it would be awful. I think it would be absolutely awful having to take this many pills like every night. A smooth, protruded red capsule is looking at me. It's covered in a murky, semi-transparent film, but I can still discern its contents. Is this an eye that's looking at me? What is this up here? So what do we have inside you? I gently press in the capsule from both sides, and to my surprise, it turns out to be soft and squishy. I press harder, and the capsule pops. Sticky, bright red liquid pours out. Filthy, filthy. The pill flies straight into the waste bin, and I start rigorously washing my hands. No, there's no way I'm drinking that. Next was a flat pill of the same blood red color, where some letter print is on it. Oh, I get it. This is the medicine that makes me really sleepy. But it's not the type of sleep I want. It's not it at all. It's fake. I don't know. I don't even want to look at it. The pill flies into the waste bin as well. Is she just tossing all her pills in the trash? The next half an hour goes by in a similar fashion. I study every pill from all sides, and I find a reason not to swallow it. I invent my own medicine instead and enjoy swallowing them one after another, letting myself drown in their healing effects. Medicine it's a weird topic. Hey, my neck doesn't hurt anymore. Hey, my hand doesn't hurt anymore. Hey, my head doesn't hurt anymore. Hey, my heart doesn't hurt anymore. Hey, my stomach doesn't hurt anymore. Hey, my eyes don't hurt anymore. How come I didn't think of this earlier? This is so simple. I need to brag about it to someone right away. But not to my mom. She'll just scold me. And she's sure I'm already sleeping anyway. I don't want to disturb her without reason. I'll think of something myself. Besides, I just really want some small talk. I wonder who's going to be my conversation partner. I'm right here. Hey. Is that all just part of the intro? Whoa. Is it a bedroom? Whoa. Hey, long time no see. out here in the background is like herself staring out. This is a really cool animation. I really like this art style. It hasn't even been an hour. You know, we're only supposed to meet once per day, right? Oh, do the hour? No, that's not what I meant to do. I am. Sorry. Need to go to bed. Oh, okay. I think I did the wrong ending already. Oh, she's so upset. What a bully. In reality, I don't need you at all. Why is that? I'm so energetic and I feel great, which means I can do anything. And you can only watch and agonize over your uselessness. I can imagine how angry you are right now. I'm upset with myself more than anything, but honestly, I think it's awesome that you can feel like confident in yourself. What made you all happy all of a sudden? Why would I be sad? Aw, I'm such a jerk. I don't know what you mean. Stop lying. Nah, still don't understand. Whatever. Unlike you, I won't forget that pathetic, snotty girl for a long time. She just whines and whines all the time. Don't even try ruining my mood. I want to have fun while we're together, alright? So you're the one calling the shots now? Yeah. Well, let's see how long you can last. We'll see. Am I really that pathetic? I could feel the tears streaming down my cheeks, hanging from my chin, and then falling on my clothes, burning holes in them. That was fast, but not expected. Hey, at least I tried. Wash your face, and we'll decide what to do with you. I just wanted to say it hasn't been that long. That was rough. In front of the mirror again. Keep staring at my reflection. Try not to get distracted by the snary looks on the walls that give me. Trying not to drown in their giggling, but then in the mirror also shows me in a creepy smile. Bares her teeth at me. I shut my eyes, but that doesn't help. It wouldn't have helped even if I sunk through the floor. I skipped some words right there. I start counting in my mind. 2 square, 2 by 2 square, a square, a square pyramid, square, a pyramidal structure cubed, a pyramidal structure hypercubed. So this girl has got that brain juice. I feel better. My head is splitting apart now. Sorry for being. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Not your fault. It's never your fault. I mean, I did make the decision, so I can't just avoid blame. Fine, you can keep on blaming yourself, but don't overdo it. I don't know why, but I thought I'd be able to take control. It's almost ready to. I was sure I'd be able to change something after all. I was able to buy milk, you know. I was there. Yeah, you ought to know how challenging it was. It was. The first game, very deep. I feel like this one's gonna be even more so. Is that why you threw away the medicine? What a stupid decision, right? Whatever it was, it really was your decision. It doesn't really matter. No. What do you think? And you don't take me serious anyway. Then why'd you do that? I feel like I'd be able to fight it on my own. It's true, the pain subsided for a bit at that time, but now I feel it triple in force. It hurts so bad. You drink your medicine, or I'll stop talking to you. You know what to do. Dejected, I reach out for the shelf with my medicine. I swallow the pills, one after another, chasing away the unpleasant visions that kept floating up in my memory. And yet, my mind still draws a terrifying picture. Lumps of coagulated blood and transparent coating travel down my esophagus, scratching its soft walls, leaving behind furrows. It's so nasty. I shake my head violently. I don't care if it makes me feel dizzy or worsen my pain. I just don't want to think about it. It's something so repulsive. Yeah, it's not a pleasant thought. You still haven't changed. What do you mean? You're afraid of being alone. This worries you so much more than the pain. Yeah, I guess. I toss the last pill into the air and catch it with my mouth. Oh, that's sick! It's like throwing like a goldfish up in the air and catching it. Shirt's kind of swagging. I lie on the floor. I look at the ceiling. I can clearly hear water running in the metal pipes up there. I hear the cracking of concrete blocks that will someday surely fall on my head. You gotta trust the foundation a bit more than that, but I'm not afraid of that at all. I can't imagine my death coming from above. Rather, it's rearing its claws from somewhere below, waiting for me to lose focus. Do you want to talk about it? No, I've had enough of talking. And I made her really upset. What do you want to do then? Just want to lie down for a bit. Okay, I'm down. Ain't gonna bug you. Even if the ceiling is bound to collapse, it won't be today. That's the anxiety option right there. Alright, I'll just wait. I'll let her be. I carefully extract thoughts that are yet to be fully formed from my head and lay them out on the ceiling in orderly rows. Now it's my corkboard. In hopes of seeing the whole picture, I switch them from one place to another, pile them on top of each other, scatter them around. In the end, I throw them off with my hand, annoyed, and start over. Can't do it. You can always imagine your thoughts as something small and swarming, like cockroaches. Same here, I don't like cockroaches. Can I make the fireflies? Yeah, I love fireflies. I don't mind, either way. Just gonna want to order them up. I don't even have time to blink before my thoughts. They're fireflies now, start whirling all over the ceiling in their own accord, forming whimsical patterns. I can only observe them and wait for the right moment. I wonder if it's on like an actual loop or if it's gonna like get in a really cool pattern or something. It's just that moment doesn't come. Well, might have to just be a bit more patient than that. What's her name? I don't remember her name. The mocking sounds of flapping wings come from the ceiling. Makes me start losing my patience. Enough! I hate you. She does not like me. I spring to my feet and scream at the top of my lungs. The fireflies scatter. Good job. Start over. No way. Unstable behavior makes you look bad. I don't give a damn. So that doesn't bother you? Should it? No? Well, lot of people act like this. Yeah. There's nothing shameful about snapping at someone if you have a reason for that. You did have a reason, didn't you? You'll surely get better. Believe me. And now, start over. You're at it again. What do you mean? Never mind. And I've changed my mind anyway. Please don't stay silent for this long anymore. I'm having a hard time without your help. Fine. I raise my eyes to look at the ceiling once more. Sadly, all my fireflies seem to be hiding somewhere. I need to find them. Glance around the room. There are too many places where a creature as small as a firefly to hide. Here. That made a noise right behind my ear. They can be anywhere. Suddenly I hear a deafening rumble. The clock just hit midnight. It's so late already, but I can't go to bed right now. Will you help me? Please tell me you'll help me. Come on, stop bullying me. You promised you'll talk to me. What were you thinking while lying on the floor? What do you mean? You should know it better than anybody else. That's the thing. I have no idea. This is weird. Tell me. Will you tell me? Just like that. Pull on my sleeves and start rubbing them intensely. They are so itchy. Why are you crying? My eyes are itchy. Did you drink milk? Did he bring milk? I wonder if I tear out my lashes will my eyes stop itching. I wonder if I tear out all my eyelashes one after another. All my eyelashes one after another. If I tear out all my eyelashes one after another. What have you done? I need to gather the glass, and then I need to have a band. And then, here, drink some milk. First death. I stand in the middle of the room, my mouth agape, gasping for air. I think I just experienced death. I don't know any other way to explain what happened. And I really threw this first run. Well, that was surely something. Will you tell me or not? About what? Except for the fireflies instead. You're acting weird. Oh my gosh, she's so funny. Help me instead of running your mouth. I've already had enough of your adventures before bed. I need to gather my thoughts quickly and go to bed. And my thoughts are hiding from me. I have no clue where to look for them. You said somewhere in here, so maybe they're stuck in here. Guess we have to tear this whole place apart. I make even the smallest messes here, I'll feel really bad. All things should stay in their places, and that's it. Why? It just works. You don't have to tell me. I don't, and I won't. Alright then, so we need to find a bunch of tiny insects inside a mountain of junk without moving anything, even an inch. Oh my gosh, oh my. Oh, I just noticed in the background, it's that, the thing I just saw right now when she was, like, just scratching at her eyes. I have an idea. Last time, becoming a visual novel character helped me achieve my goal. I want to become a point-and-click adventure game character. You know, those games have moments where you just look for different objects and something inevitably happens. I really like those games. I haven't played those games in so long. It sounds so fun. What about the things you use regularly? Do you refuse to touch them as well? It would make it even more interesting. So childish. You wanna know what's the best part? You'll be the one doing it. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh no. Oh yeah. I start panicking as soon as I get in a multiple choice situation. I just keep changing my mind and crying and running away. You want that to happen? You're such a handful. You've already proven that you're able to make decisions. Why not continue on that road? Come on, don't be so boring. I'm just teasing you. Yeah. You don't have to bear the whole burden. Asking for help is a reasonable decision to do. Alright, let's do it. I go to the middle room, look around. Where would I hide if I were a tiny firefly? Ah, this is so thrilling. My heart gets warmer from the pleasant anticipation. Hey. What? Look down. I look down. After a moment, a small ball of light, warmth crawls out from under my sweater. Wowie. Wowie. I like that response. Wowie. That's sweet. She found one. I carefully grab the firefly. It's pleasantly scorching to the touch. Put it on my shoulder. I'm sorry, little guy. Time to come home now. As if it was an order, the firefly slowly drips up and circles around my head for a bit, then flies into my ear with the speed of a bullet. It tickles. My ears are like really sensitive. If something like crawls in there, oh my gosh, I'd go crazy. One down. Let's look for the others. All right, let's do it. Point and click. Maybe it's down there. Okay. If I was a firefly, I'd go to lights. Wait, that's a moth. Are you serious? What's wrong? Why would it be a fly? Yeah. She's roasting me. Well, if they purposely want to lower their self-esteem. Well, that is probably true. Bets. Yeah. Easy to get out of here. I guess there's a big mesh right there, so maybe they wouldn't be able to get through there. I'm gonna click on the floor. It's my sleeping bag. Soft and warm. I'm sure that no living creature would be able to resist the temptation to spend a minute or two inside. They want to dig deep into it with a couple of favorite items, close their eyes, and then... Hey, did you fall asleep? The background changed. Huh? Gently slap my cheeks to return myself to senses. It's already way past midnight. Usually I'd be sleeping like a log at this time, but right now I can't. Let's continue searching. Ooh, she is drowsy. Hey, maybe we'll find something inside. My thoughts don't have a feature of putting to sleep. Quite the contrary. They always cause insomnia, just like tonight. Okay. So no sleeping bag, no lights, no vent. Pictures? And what are those? Those are the photos of my best memories. But they're blank. I stared at them so intensely that I burned them with my eyes. Now they're just covering the cracks in the walls. Cracks? Are we continuing the search or what? Okay. It's fine. We'll just keep on going. Computer screen? I look at my laptop. I haven't touched it for years, so it's covered with a layer of dust as thick as my finger. Ooh. A bizarre item. I fear it. Why? It's a long and boring story. I want to hear it. Yeah, tell me about it. I insist. I don't remember how it appeared in my room. My parents probably brought it here because they couldn't find a better place for it. They didn't prohibit me from using it. On the other hand, they encouraged me to do so. After I spent my whole days in front of this room, gaming, strong, engineering calculator, 3D modeling. So much fun stuff to do. You had a music office. Yeah, I did, before entering the web. Imagine this, you're a hamster that lives underground. You have everything for comfortable living. Could you imagine? Yeah? As always, your analogy is spot on. Alright, I imagine it. Alright, so you're a hamster that lives underground. You have everything for comfortable living. Okay. Wonderful. Now here's the situation. You're a hamster that lives. Okay, I got it. Do you want to talk about something else? Yeah. You know, returning to that subject anyway. On one wonderful day, someone digs you up from your hamster house and brings you to the pet store. Now your new home is a cage. It's way more comfortable and warm compared to the underground. And the most important part, you have a lot of neighbors here. The cages are identical to yours, and the other hamsters look identical to you too. It means you're all the same. Apart from the fact that they were born at that shop. You'll ask, what does that indicate? And I'll tell you, nothing at all. I forgot what I was talking about. Gosh. Okay, let's start over. This time try to avoid the stupid hamster knowledge. You know I'm not at fault here. That is true. So, I had a lot of friends online. Tens, hundreds of them. Impossible to count. Is it impossible though? And exactly 317 of them. Hey. Good on you. Though I guess nobody counts the exact number of hamsters when they walk into a pet shop. Don't get distracted. By my 317 friends, 68 were into gaming, just like me. 130 of them like drawing, just like me. And the remaining 119 were into calculators and 3D modeling, equally. And when I say equally, I don't mean 59 and half of the friends on each side. Alright? You can split numbers evenly, no problem, but math doesn't work like that when it comes to friends. A major conundrum, right? Get to the point. I knew, of course, that no real people exist on the web. I also understood that all my friends died the moment I turned on my laptop. But I still wasn't even a bit worried. Why? You know what computer programs consist of? It's just a combination of numbers. Which means my friends are also numbers. Isn't that amusing? I think that's pretty interesting. How do you call them your friends? I mean, everyone who shares my interests is my friend. I don't care whether they know about my existence or not. Anyways, I was saying, every program has its own algorithm and purpose, its mathematical formula. And if you solve that formula, you'll be able to predict the program's behavior at any moment. I don't agree with this. You don't need to follow me around, just listen. I sit on the floor. The laptop screen ends up right in front of me. The only thing reflected in it is my dim face. A web person is just a random picture and a random string of letters. Words and actions from the web person are just executable code. Hey. Oh, she's falling asleep. Let me know if you need a break. One day, someone appeared. From that point on, my laptop was always on. There are no real people on the web, but he was good at pretending. At some moment, I let him trick me. Hey, look. Huh? Suddenly, a firefighter slowly crawls out of the laptop's vent grill. I reach for it and he gets on top of my palm, blinking all the while. I think he's trying to say something. I can see that myself. If only I knew what. This is like a cipher. You want to crack it? I changed my mind. I have absolutely no desire to find out what it wants to say. It stops scrolling for a moment after that. Then it starts glowing again, as if coming back to its senses. For some time it thinks about the further course of actions, then flies up and dashes into my ear. Let's continue searching. What about your story? You must be mad at me for interrupting you. I'm sorry. Alright, I'll wait. I'm not gonna interrupt you. Yeah. Okay, fine. If you do everything right, I'll finish my story, maybe. Okay. That's a good little enticing little reward. You promise? I promise. And if you forget, then remind me. Write a code word, for example. What code word? I'll think of one later. For now, let's keep searching for my fireflies, alright? You keep that in mind. I'm gonna keep that in mind. Looking for a code word. Okay, so we did laptop. Can we do door? Doorknob? Insects like plants. Insects enjoy pollinating the flowers and stuff like that. That's exactly what I just said. Yeah, I guess. I get close to the flower shop. I sniff around, smell dust and cardboard and death. You know, those plants are long dead, right? Yeah, they didn't look too long back there. I'm not sure a dead plant will be able to attract any insects. Well, we kind of don't have a choice here, you know? Still, you're right. Let's continue searching. Why don't you just throw them out? Are you listening to me at all? Nothing moves. Don't forget. Notes. The usual notebook pages glued to the wall with duct tape. Numbers are drawn on them. It's the only kind of information I can take in without trouble. Dosage and side effects. Oh, so it's information about pills. Yeah, if it's a thought, I'm pretty certain it would go there. Yeah. I thought you knew them by heart. Yeah. It's not your handwriting, isn't it? It's probably a doctor or mom. Of course it's not. Shaky, broken lines, ugly numbers. It's not writing. It's more like marks. Don't forget to thank your mom. I don't need your advice. My scream makes the pages rustle restlessly. After a moment, a firefly appears from underneath one of them. After looking around in a business-like manner, it takes off in a business-like flight and ends up entering my business-like ear. Hey, I think she's falling asleep again. Let's continue searching. Up here. I tilt my head backwards and almost fall over. The closet is hanging under the ceiling, at least 300 feet off the floor. Oh my gosh. Oh, she is sleeping. Are you joking? Even though it's my room, not everything here is for me to use. Whatever. I don't care. Yeah, I don't care at all. I totally am. I'm definitely not worried. Not even the littlest bit. Not even a smidgen of the littlest bit. Not even for 1,000%. That's how much I don't care. Okay. Hey, I'm not even done telling you about how much I don't care from this moment. Oh, no, you don't. Act normal. Can I click on her? Nope. Guess not. I feel like the radios might make too much noise. Oh. What else can I click on? Okay. That thing. Let's do trash bin. I get close to the waste bin. I look inside it with curiosity. Pill packaging, notebook pages, blah blah blah, and other garbage. Boring. I would stare at a trash bin and put my thoughts there. There's nothing here. Indeed, no self-respecting firefly would hide in a heap of garbage. I think a good amount of thoughts would deserve to be in the garbage, so can't disagree with you here. Okay, what's in your dresser? I doubt it. All of the compartments are locked. What if? I think about what's inside. Who knows what I'll end up imagining. Okay. Not a bad response, I guess. Your backpack. Look down. My school bag, worn down and silly. It's almost screaming of its own uselessness. From another angle, it looks like a full belly. Its contents are also regurgitating, decomposing, and turning into a sticky, mushy substance. What's she have in there? What a cool image. I need to remember this. Totally not cool, senseless and cruel. Totally not cool. Tell me what's inside your bag. Nothing special, mostly just all sorts of books. Taking out all the pens and notebooks out of there, and I'm not interested in anything else. Okay. You used to go to school, didn't you? Yeah, I did, and I had a blast all the way. Are you sure you understood my question? You think everything in my life should be doom and gloom? Well, you're wrong. Alright. What did you like the most there? The rooms were really bright. Not like at all. That's it? Don't rush me, let me remember. The beds were also soft, and the food was nice. There were beds? By the way, I attended all the classes. The others always skipped. They probably got told off so hard. I smiled gently, absorbed in more memories. You never graduated, huh? Yeah? Remember your last day there? It was a normal day. Dad picked me up earlier than usual. Told me that I'm already too old for the school curriculum. I also realized that some time ago. The tasks were way too easy. Then go into the car and went home. Mom greeted us there, and we had a dinner, and we went to our rooms. And what happened then? I don't remember. Why does it even matter? I feel like that's a bait question. I'll say okay for now. Good. I looked at my bag again. Light pouring into the room. Through the windows glints the metal parts, and there's also a shadow underneath it, which means it's real sadly. Whatever, don't care anyway. I almost end up kicking the bag in a fit of sudden anger, but I managed to stop myself in the nick of time. If I move it even an inch, the whole picture will collapse, and I'll go blind. It's already happened countless times. What do you mean you'll go blind? I spent months memorizing the location of every item in a room. That's why I can see them so clearly and vividly. Hey, sometimes you'd be like, hey, where did I put this pen? You remember you had a pen like underneath your chair, like just in an obscure spot next to like the wheel or something? And they're like, oh, where's a pen? Right underneath my chair, right in that obscure spot. You won't get it. I get exactly what you mean. I get your feet. Oh, don't you talk about a pen. I look down and you see that a small insect is crawling toward me from my bag. It's barely glowing, and it can't even fly. I guess this firefly is really tired. I bend down to pick it up. The firefly starts glowing brightly as soon as I touch it, and then flies up. Here you go, boy. Good job. After doing a victory lap around the room, it flies towards me with high speeds. I shut my eyes, anticipating the firefly to enter my ear. That's exactly what happens. After it gets inside, it buzzes for a little while and then goes silent. This one's kind of sad. Doesn't matter. What matters is that it's no longer alone. Sure, let's continue searching. No, I'm not going to stop searching. Book. It's my sketchbook. Half of its pages are blank, which means it'll still be good for a couple years. You draw that early? Isn't that obvious? If I run out of pages, I'll have to buy a new sketchbook. I can't get to the stationery store on foot. I'll have to take the bus. You even realize what kind of nightmare that can turn into? Maybe you can ask your mom about one? Let's see. Or what? Ask whom? Can you even form coherent sentences? Don't play dumb. Ask your mom to buy your notebook instead. So you want me to perform a string of actions, but you're also telling me to do one instead of another? And how would I decide which action to take? You're so dyslexic. That's a interesting adjective there, buddy. You lack empathy. Is that my fault? I get closer to the sketchbook, stepping over the wires, the sleeping bag, the cracks in the laminate, and the window's reflection. The sketchbook is lying on the stool. From my height, it seems like the stool is missing 2 legs. I squat and look again, all legs are there. Will I be able to think of interesting allegory? Oh no, let's not go there, okay. I stand up and study the sketchbook from inches away. Its pages are pure white. The last drawing is buried on the previous page, the way it should be. Too bad, I'd love to see it. Maybe next time. Sudden gust of chilly winds breaks into the room and makes the pages rustle. Oh no! Shut my eyes. A distinctive sound of pages turning echoes with headache in my head. I know what's going to happen. The rustling has stopped, even though the wind is still howling from every direction. It can only mean that one thing from the notebook is open on the first page. If I wait a little longer, the wind will close it. I won't have to look. If I wait a little longer. If I wait. Open your eyes. No. It's okay. Just do it. No way. I know you're lying. Calm down. No. Calm down. No. Calm down. No. Calm down. No. It's neither one of these. Slow it down just a little bit. Fine. Open my eyes with the utmost caution. The notebook is still open in the middle. No drawings, nothing. The pages are still pure white. Did I imagine it? Oh no. Did you? You're a smart one here, you tell me. Next time don't close your eyes. You doofus. What did you? I couldn't finish speaking because the pages started moving again. Don't close your eyes. Don't make me do it. I'm scared. Trust me. The rustling grows louder. The pages lift up. You can almost see the outlines of drawings on previous pages. No way. Everything that is in the past should stay in the past. You couldn't convince me. That's it. I'm closing my eyes. Look there. A barely visible light seeps through the pages. With every new gust, it becomes brighter and brighter. A firefly! The wind immediately stops for a moment. The world sinks into perfect silence, but only for a moment. The buzz that has always been haunting me fills the surroundings, but it doesn't matter now. Goodness gracious, little boy, you made me so scared. The firefly blinks, flies up and enters my ear, buzzing loudly all the way. I spend some time looking for the perfect spot in my head, but then its buzzing dies down. Just crawling around in your head. Phew. You okay? We're running short on time, so let's TV searching. Alright, let's do whatever this is now. No? Guess not? Oh. Yeah, I click on this. Okay. Radio. I look up toward a very high place under my ceiling. I can hear a countless number of small legs marching inside the AC unit. I think it's loud. Oh well. What happened? Fireflies can't be friends with cockroaches. We better look somewhere else. What would cockroaches be in there? Hey, cockroaches can climb inside of AC units. That's really disgusting, but it's true. Have you forgotten? You're the one who told me to think of my thoughts as cockroaches. Yes, bud. They became fireflies afterwards, but cockroaches don't disappear just like that. So they occupied this place. So, do those count as your thoughts? I do. Umbrella? Umbrella emanates a faint sense of coolness. No wonder. It's the only thing that defends me against the thunder clouds that gather under my ceiling. Such a blessing that it can do it without my help. It opens on its own lot? Still, a firefly won't hide in a place like that. He'll catch a cold and be unable to fly. You don't want to check it? Why? I'm sure we won't find anything there. Why do you have so many radios in here? Toothbrush. Turn my eyes toward an inconspicuous shelf near the mirror. As I glance with the toothbrush sitting on it, with the small toe hanging nearby. What a wonderful sight. The fireflies are smart and good. They would never get in there. They know about personal hygiene. Okay, let's look somewhere else. Your pills. I look at the amount of pills and it makes me feel dizzy. I don't want to think about it. I don't. What's wrong? Yeah, I was feeling that would be pretty bad to look at. I'm gonna skip my dose for today. How reckless. I could have died. Hey, calm down. You already fixed that. That's because you ordered me to. Is that an accusation? Of course not. It's what saved me. Well, that's reasonable. I heave a deep sigh, come closer and extend my hand. Wow, it's warm. The moment those words leave my lips, one of the bottles overturns. Pills rain down from it, along with them. A firefly, hooray. After circling above my head a couple of times, it finally lands on my palm. The firefly rushes up my arm, and upon it reaching my shoulder, crawls straight into my ear. My mind becomes a bit clearer. Got this fan. Whatever that is. Alright, fan time? What's so funny about it? I imagine myself being a firefly that is looking straight into a giant fan. And I'd be so jealous. The only thing that's preventing it from flying is the cage it's locked in the cable. It's like an inmate if you think about it. It's so sad. Yeah. Let's continue searching. I don't know how many fireflies I'm supposed to find. I look at the alarm clock. Time continues its unstoppable flow. It's so late. Are you tired? You bet I am. Theatric yawn. I hold out my arms to the sides. 1, 2. And I raise them above my head. 3, 4. Maybe a little workout will help me freshen up. Good idea. You know, the exercise you've been taught? Think so. I take a hesitant stance. What was it? Heels together or toes apart? Whatever, I'll go with that. Count down 5 minutes. Fine, you have a clock right in front of you, though. I'll count. 5 minutes, though? That's a bit strange. But what if I actually wait 5 minutes? I don't want to wait 5 minutes. That's a long time. But what if I actually do? You think might be an achievement for that? So I might, next time I play through this game, I might just somehow get back to this point and then do that. What a thought. Can't look at its hands for too long. At first I feel like they start moving in the wrong direction. Then they disappear altogether. And things always get messy. Last time I saw pairs of eyes on the clock face. And also, I used to hear voices back in the day. I pleaded for help, I think. What a mess. Truly a mess. It was a mess, right? A mess. Well, are you counting down? Well, according to my telephone, it's been about 1 minute. My god, finally. What do you mean? I was trying to get through to you for half an hour. Oh my gosh. Huh? Forget it. Do you see a firefly? No. Continue searching. That's weird. So is everything searched in here? Can't click on anything outside. Nothing down here. Oh, what is that? What's this? What is that? What is that? Okay. Is that like a piece of gum or something? Okay. That's done. That's done. Nothing there. Nothing there. Mirror? No. Whatever that is. Okay, I think we're done. Finish searching. You found all the fireflies. Amazing. I guess. I managed to gather my thoughts, but something still worries me. On the other hand, I wasn't supposed to be happy anyway. Why not? If I lose something and find it, it's just going back to the starting point. No changes at all, a zero sum. Isn't that what you wanted though? You didn't want anything to change? And happiness is always about being positive, right? Shouldn't think too much. It hurts you. I want to sleep. Her freaking face. How do you get some fresh air before sleeping? What do you mean? Just step outside. Well, go to the balcony and breathe in some air. Oh. I can see that. Somehow those words triggered a panic attack in me. I subconsciously step away from the balcony. I don't think it's a good idea. Why? This may sound silly, but I feel like someone is watching me. I stay here. What are you gonna do? That's what the silly question. I'm going to sleep, of course. Hoping that tomorrow will only come after a year. Or a decade. Imagining myself to be outside of my mortal shell, but at the same time still being me. Ridiculous. Like milk outside of a bag of milk! She said the name of the game! She did it. And yet... You don't have to talk out loud for me to understand that you're worried about me. I know that already. I also know that our time is running short. You won't take another pill. Of course not. In fact, I won't take it tomorrow either. And the day after tomorrow. And never, ever. That's a goodbye then? No? One more small favorite answer. A really, really small one. What is it? I've blurted out way too much today. A lot of stuff I'd want to forget forever. I don't blame you, but was it really necessary? You'll see tomorrow. I wouldn't be able to sleep like this. Fine, what's the favor? I nervously scratch my wrists and bite on my lower lip. Wait a minute, you're afraid to tell me? Yes? I'm also scared that something bad might happen if I tell you. I'm also scared that when something bad happens, something way worse will happen. I get it. I won't leave you alone until you tell me, though. Bully. No, you. I mean, I'm keeping it real. You want to tell me something. So tell me. Get it off your chest. She's asleep. Finding my sleeping bag. Lower part of the room is very cold. I hurry to wrap myself in blankets, even though the electric heater is working hard to keep me warm. I'm sad because the dreams just won't come anymore. Don't believe me if I tell you how I dealt with it at first. First, I believe it. I know, it was a joke. But anyway, I washed my face, brushed my teeth, lied down and started imagining that I'm watching a dream. I didn't sleep at all, of course, and always like sleepy in the morning. After a week of insomnia, I started feeling weird and seeing things. Letters floating in the air, strange silhouettes that appeared in the most unexpected of places. Bulging eyes with trembling pale pupils. It was scary, you know? And one day, I almost died. I just collapsed in the middle of the room. I couldn't move for a while. And then silhouettes, letters, and eyes were hanging over me and hissing. It was horrible. And well deserved, I guess. I felt like I was caught on the biggest lie in the world. Yes, it felt exactly like that. After that, I stopped. Its silhouettes, letters, and eyes stayed here. I guess they liked this place. They always follow my wake, peeping at me. I'm kind of scared of them. I can't even argue with them. But today, well, still too scared to tell me. Of course, they're listening still, you know. Use your hands. Alright. I start chaotically twirling my fingers with enthusiasm, forming complex shapes. You want me to take bedtime story? I was trying so hard here. Don't you get it? They'll hear you. Relax, nobody can hear you. So what do you say? I'd be happy to, but I have no idea how to tell him. So it's incredibly easy. Just talk about something without stopping. Okay, sounds silly though, but it's not. Meaningless. You don't know what you're talking about. Enough to realize that you will just end up wasting time. Boring. Let me tell a story. Close your eyes. I want to tell a story. You won't get it. I wake up on a wooden bench. In front of me lies a narrowly, dimly lit alley. An awfully familiar road. Where could I have seen it? Finally. What is this? I hear a voice coming from the side. I turn around and I see a boy with a weird expression on his face. You're late. Who are you? Boy blinks in bewilderment. We're not going anywhere like this. Try again. Takes a very deep breath. You are late. I stare at him, confused. He stares back, also confused. Sorry? Boy nods, satisfied. See? Much better. You have a name? My name is Tresca. He gave the brat an evaluating look. He's so young, yet already coming at me with questions like that. None of your business. And besides, will anyone tell me what I'm doing here? Hey, that's rude. It's not like there's somebody else here besides me. Have they told you anything? I know all there is to know for one. About what? You're obligated to escort me to the store. Jessica says that and strikes a victory pose. Nah? No way I'm doing that. You understand that refusal is futile? Who is this guy? Well, aren't you full of yourself? I'm serious. I'm not the one who decided that. You think I'm delighted with your company? He's weird, constantly shifting between happiness and sadness, loudness, silence. He's a wacko, and his name is stupid, Tresca. Are we going or what? You can go. I need to think. I'd be happy to, but I don't know the way. Tresca puts on a cunning smile by my lower lip in frustration. I'll be honest with you. I don't like you. I simply burst out laughing and replied, I do like you, though. What is this? What's happening here? He grabs my hand without hesitation. I don't even have time to retort. Lead the way. Our trip to the store went fine, if not for the fact that Tresca was walking way faster than me. I thought I was supposed to be leading. And on the other hand, he stopped abruptly and went backwards, studying the ground underneath his feet. In the end, the trip took a lot longer than it should. After reaching the store's doors, we were greeted by a sign. I don't know what that says. Maybe it's like Russian. We're closing in 20 minutes. Oh, it says 20 minutes. Who had the bright idea to indicate their working hours in this way? They probably has special staff for this. Someone who runs to change the sign every 5 minutes. It's convenient. Are you joking? Yeah. You're so annoying. It's much better than being boring. How old are you, by the way? None of your business. What's your name? None of your business. I was ready to slap the living hell out of the brat, but a scary-looking man suddenly appeared behind the glass. We're holding a cardboard sign that says, we're closing in 15 minutes. Let's go. What are you waiting for? Oh, yeah. another round of going across a long row of canned products, we realize that we're lost. I can't believe you don't know they sell milk. Maybe you should ask for somebody for directions. Sure. Hey, wait up. Jessica lights go in my hands and walks confidently toward one of the few store's customers. That person is standing with the back to us, studying something on the shelf. Hello, can I can't hear neither of the second part of his question nor the reply he gets, but my good-for-nothing friend freezes in place. Looking the customer straight in the eye, I hurry toward them. He just... Oh my gosh. Is he yours? The customer talks to me, speaks with disgust while wearing a scornful expression. He's yours. Please get him away from me. Yes, I'm sorry. I grab Tresca's hands and lead him away. He's still looking at the customer, his mouth ajar, and his eyes pumped. He's also shaking. Interesting. Only when we turn around the corner, Tresca calms down. What was that? I got so scared, he said. What? No, not again. Suddenly, Tresca starts screaming like crazy. I cover his mouth with my hand. His face is burning. He's crying. Can you act normal? You don't understand. Of course I don't. I don't understand anything. Knowing other people is still wrong, though. This is something you don't understand, it seems. You're mean. Who, me? Tresca pushes me away and runs off. Drat. The edge of my vision, I see the store staff hang a new sign on the door. There you are. I meet Tresca at the cash register. Before that, I managed to visit the milk department after finding out where it was. Hey, you move. I hear an angry voice coming from the other side of a long queue that's formed after Tresca. I squeeze toward him. What happened? The boy doesn't respond. He just looks at his feet and sniffs. The cashier towers over him. There's a bag of milk lying between them. Is he yours? Yes. Just leave him home next time. Gosh, darn you are mean. People in the queue nod in agreement. Pay for the goods, please. Yes, of course. And the waiting fee. Ah? You heard me. I did, but that's unheard of. Mirza starts giggling all of a sudden. But the fact that your son is a retard, too. Ah? You heard me. You know what? In a fit of rage, I throw a banknote to the cashier of much higher value than needed. And he counts again the stupid fee, and grab a bag of milk and turn around on my heels. We're leaving, Tresca. Is this like a dream of the future or something? We spend the whole trip back in silence. At some point, we end up turning right toward a gas station. There, Tresca finally breaks his silence. You like ice cream? No. Okay. Look at the boy's face. A light flickers in his eyes for a brief moment and then goes out. You know, turns away from the path and walks straight toward the highway with determination. I stare at his back, confused. It seems like you're not helping me at all. A new playful light flickers in Tresca's eyes. It happened to me earlier. Oh my gosh. Milk outside a bag of milk. Good night. Achievement unlocked. Did I beat the game? Wow. There's so much I feel like I'm missing. That was very... Let me unsettling, uncomfortable, interesting, and pretty fun, not gonna lie. Visuals, Ghost Funeral. We'll sit through the credits because I can always appreciate people who work on games. I think it's really important to, at least sit through it once. Especially a game like this, very in-depth. Simple, but in-depth. Like, there's a lot to it, but it's really simple. English translation. Wonder, where is this game originally from? I know, like, at the title screen, it probably makes it obvious if you understand what it says. But I'm not sure what that says whenever it's, like, select your language. Because English isn't the first one. Okay. Well, that was pretty good. We'll play it again. Sometime. But that was really interesting. Alright, well, bye-bye.